Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day. Welcome to the Fasce, your weekly podcast of everything football. We have fantasy, predictions, bets, news, you name it, we got it all. We're going to be every Thursday morning, every single week at 8 a.m. And today, I am joined here by the Fast Brothers. Let's get right into it, boys. What do you got for us, brother?
Let's go. All right. Jumping right into it, we're going straight to the draft odds. As you know, we're going to start with our Thursday night game. Minnesota Vikings against the Los Angeles Rams and SoFi Stadium. Right now, DraftKings has the odds -2.5 in favor of the Minnesota Vikings away. Vikings coming off their first loss against the Detroit Lions. A very, very, very good game. Probably game of the week. There was a few really good games that week. I can't lie. Last week was actually really nice for the eyeballs. It was very gentle on the eyes. I guess there is a few eye avoiders, but still. Anyways, Los Angeles Rams. They're still too beaten up. They're gonna get Cooper Kupp back, but I don't know. This Minnesota Vikings team does look special, and I think they are special. So I'm gonna go with the -2.5 for the Minnesota Vikings.
All right, yeah. They might get Cooper Kupp back, but they might not get Cooper Kupp back. I don't know if you saw.
That's true.
Some trade rumors going on about going him. I think he just had a conference or tweet or whatever he had that he doesn't care about the rumors. He's going to try to play the best wherever he is. So that might go down. And same with, I don't know if this is how much truth it holds, the quarterback, Stafford. I don't know if that's going to be. So I think the Vikings were actually talking about that and high hopes of trades, and which I don't know why, because Samuel's been slinging it. They only have one loss in the loss column there, leaving the Chiefs as the only undefeated team in the NFL. But yeah, I got Vikings -2.5 as well. They still look like a strong team. What a game last week, game of the week. And man, yeah, we had a lot of good close games last week. It was really fun. But yeah, I got Vikings -2.5 as well.
Yeah, I knew that game was going to be really good. I don't know if I called that one or Green Bay Houston game of the week, but it ended up being both of those games were pretty nuts. But Minnesota is still looking phenomenal. The Rams are just a very, very tough team to play against. They pretty much have it all right now. Obviously, losing Aiden Hutchinson is a blow, but it didn't really seem to slow them down much against one of the better teams in the league thus far. However, even with Cooper Kupp coming back, possibly, I'm still going to take Minnesota -2.5. They played well. There was no hindrance really anywhere. So I really think that they're going to come out and beat the Rams.
Awesome. Alrighty, let's get into Sunday. Sunday night games. We got first one up, Tennessee Titans against the Detroit Lions. It is in Detroit. This one is -11 in favor of the Detroit Lions, coming off that win against the Vikings, and it's fair enough. The Detroit Lions looking like one of the top teams, if not the top team at the moment, and the Tennessee Titans, it's not Christmas, so Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer couldn't get it done against the Bills. There's not much hope for them in this game, and everyone knows it. It is also in Detroit, so yeah, you know what? Honestly, give me the -11 for the Detroit Lions.
I'm going to do the same thing. How much did the Bills win by last week?
24.
Yeah, it was a lot more than that. And Lions, usually in these cases with the giant spreads, you're thinking like, oh, they're just going to breeze past this week. But the Lions are very well prepared, very well coached. I don't see them skipping any week. So I have them easily by 11 as well. I would even take like the same 24 there the Bills won by. So I'm doing the same thing, taking my Lions -11.
Yeah, straight up, I'm going to do the same thing. This is a clean sweep here. Detroit is just what we saw last week. they're just too good. I think honestly the only issue that I have with an 11-point spread is garbage time yards for Tennessee. That always scares me for big spreads like this, and
That's a
there's
good
a
point.
couple of them this week. So I am comfortable with Detroit taking a big lead against Tennessee. I just don't know about the garbage time points that are allowed. Uh, but I'm still comfortable with the -11. It might be close though.
Alrighty. Well, now for our next matchup, we got a divisional matchup in Houston. It is the Houston Texans against the Indianapolis Colts. Right now, the Texans are favored -5.5. They just came off a loss from Green Bay, which was a very close game, 2 point game, if I am remembering correctly. And yeah, it was a good hard fought match of teams, and the Indianapolis Colts uh, almost barely got it done against a battered Miami Dolphins. However, it is a divisional matchup, so of course the game will be a lot closer than most expect. However, I think Houston Texans, with how their past games have been going, they've kept them very close, and I don't think they want to keep doing that. I think they want to separate, and I think they want to show that they are a top contender, and a divisional win would be very beneficial to them here. So I think they're gonna come full force, and I think they're gonna take this one by more than a touchdown. So give me the -5.5 for the Texans.
I am going to quickly also agree. What a game that was by those two. Back and forth battle. We just missed the spread. I had the Packers -3. They won by 2. So, yeah, that was a fantastic game. Very powerful offenses there. Colts riding the struggle bus right now. I don't see pretty much. I'm trying to think of a way that they can win this game. JT coming back, maybe?
No
Nah,
Flacco.
I'm sticking with the Texans. They're not going to go back-to-back losses. I also say this every week, but I have them as the best NFL record. The Chiefs just have to lose a couple, so I'm taking them -5.5.
And this is where we sway. JT was out, and obviously they barely beat a battered Miami team. I just feel like this might be a big game for the Colts. Like you said, it's a conference matchup. Those games are always tough. I feel like with JT coming back, you saw a decent amount of, I guess, resurgence from the rest of the team. I guess you can call it that. I mean, like you said, they beat a battered up Miami team. But with JT coming back, they can kind of lean on him a little bit more. We see Anthony Richardson just not getting it done. I think the nail in the coffin for that instance was the game before last week. But last week they did not have JT, so I feel like this is going to be a really big game for JT. And the Colt rush defense is really what we're looking at here. It's absolutely terrible. Joe Mixon can pop off, but I think the Texans are going to try to get big yards against the Colts in the air. And I don't know if it's going to work as well as they want it to. So I'm actually going to take the Colts spread. I think they're going to lose this football game. Don't get me wrong, but I will take the Colts spread at 5.5.
Alrighty. Next matchup here. Speaking of which, the Green Bay Packers against the Jacksonville Jaguars. This one is in Jacksonville. Jags looking a little better. Tank Bigsby going absolutely crazy in the backfield. I'm assuming they're going to start looking to him a lot more for that running back one position, more so than ETN. He's been absolutely fantastic for him. And the Green Bay Packers, they look phenomenal all around the board. Like I said at the very beginning of the season, I think their offense was going to be great like it was last year. However, I was looking more at their defense and seeing, will it be better? And yeah, it is much better. The Packers defense put on a very good show against the Texans, and ultimately I think that the defense won them that game. So yeah, I mean, Packers all around look very, very good. Jacksonville Jaguars are starting to get a little better. But actually, regardless of what I just said, for some reason, I think it's going to be a weird one. And I think the Jaguars are going to keep it close. They're not going to win, but I think they're going to keep it close. I think it's going to be, I'm going to take the spread for the Jaguars here at 4.5 for a tiny whoopsie daisy, but not really, because they're not winning.
Very, very interesting that you say that, Caleb, because you're completely wrong. The Packers are going to blow the doors off the Jags. Do not be fooled against a win against the Patriots, which is arguably the worst team in the league. In London, by the way, where the Jags seemingly always win. Can we all be thankful that there's no 9:30 in the morning games? By the way, that ended this year. So
Yes. Oh yeah.
yeah, don't be fooled by the win they had. I'm gonna take the Packers really easily here, -4 or -5.
Yeah, I'm actually going to do the same thing, and I'm not going to give it much thought behind it. It's Green Bay pretty much all the way. I think they win by over a touchdown.
It was a soul read, guys. It was a soul read.
It could
Anyways,
happen.
Baltimore Ravens.
I mean,
Yeah, it could.
anything can happen.
Anything can happen on any Sunday. Anyways, let me get into this next game where not anything can happen. Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. Give me the Baltimore Ravens -9 spread. Thank you. Next.
Well, it's funny that we just mentioned anything can happen on any given week because for my first whoopsie daisy of the week.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, I'm completely kidding. But what I do have,
Oh, okay, all right.
what I do have though is actually the Browns staying within the spread here. It almost seems like this is one of the games where you're just like the Ravens have been destroying everyone, and then they get back to a divisional game against the Browns, and Deshaun Watson out, and the rookie has his like, it's time for my NFL, why I should be here kind of game, and it seems like there should be absolutely no possible way for the Browns to keep it close at all. But I'm doing a Caleb vibe thing here with a divisional game to keep it within 9, still lose, maybe even by 9. But I'm taking Browns spread, surprisingly. What the heck? Could be a whoopsie daisy with itself, even taking the Browns at all. But yeah, I got them with the spread here.
Oh. Yeah, no. Ravens spread. Cleveland Browns sell the franchise. They're in shambles. They mean nothing. Moving on.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, maybe it could happen every given Sunday. It could happen. Anyways, let's talk about a really horrible game. Eye avoider. Let's go. Actually, maybe not. Maybe not an eye avoider. Let's see what the Jets can do with Devontae Adams. It is the New York Jets, New England Patriots divisional matchup, AFC East showdown, 1 p.m. in New England. -7 spread for the Jets. Yeah, it's the Jets seemingly just still cannot find any answers, even with Devontae Adams. Patriots, big loss against Jacksonville. Drake May looks okay. He looks pretty okay sometimes. He's actually kind of slinging the ball. So yeah, it's kind of hard for me to judge this one, but I think the Jets kind of need this win. I think they're going to involve Devonta Adams a little bit more. And yeah, I don't have any faith in the Patriots whatsoever. So I'm going to take it's really tough for me because I would bet the spread for New England here, usually the +7 spread, just to keep it safe because it is a divisional matchup and, the Jets offense has sucked. But for some reason, I think they're going to pull it together this week. So give me the soul read again, -7 spread for the New York Jets.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. -7, and this is like a you win it or the season is over for me. This is everything on the line, must win, and if the Jags can beat them, so can the Jets. But yeah, it's just kind of puzzling to me, like, looking at this offense and like all the skill they have around, and you have 2 wide receiver ones now in the lineup. I don't know. Would you be better off with the Zach Wilson back there? By this time, they were 4-3 last year. Now they're 2-5. What the heck happened? We got Aaron Rodgers. I thought he was supposed to be MVP, but no. Yeah, I think everyone in that locker room knows this is a must win. And they're gonna absolutely have to pull something together, or their season is quite literally over. You can count them out if they lose this game. So I got him by a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. They're really not looking good. I was having a conversation earlier about Aaron Rodgers and just how much of a turn he's taken. Obviously, didn't play at all last year, but he's a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback, and we all know it. He's just not playing like he's playing like pretty much like he belongs on the Jets. We'll just put it that way. I do think, however, they're going to win by a touchdown here. I think Devontae Adams is really going to get the train on the tracks and get moving here with Aaron Rodgers. And I think it's going to be a really big game for the Jets. Like you said, it's pretty much a must win, and I think they're going to grab it and run with it. So, Jets -7.
Alrighty. I'm glad we're all in agreement. Next 1 o'clock game. Philadelphia Eagles, Cincinnati Bengals. Right now, it is in Cincinnati. And right now, the spread is -2.5 in favor of the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals last week against the Browns looked pretty terrible. What was a high-powered offense kind of got the Browns last week, and honestly, without that kickoff return at the very start of the game, I don't even know if they would have won that game. It's just nothing was clicking, and I don't really know. I mean, they even had a quarterback change, and actually, they scored a touchdown because of it. So all I'm saying, Browns looking iron. But anyways, Philadelphia Eagles big win against the Giants. Saquon Barkley ran for 1,000,000 yards. That was pretty cool to see against his last team. So yeah, I mean, anything could happen in this game. I don't know if the Bengals want to play offense. I don't know if they'll actually show up this week. Eagles, honestly, I could say the same exact thing about them. Whether they're out of their slump because of the game against the New York Giants, I don't know. I don't know. Probably not because it is the Giants. But then again, they have a decent defense, so I don't know. Whoever shows up this game, I'm just gonna go with the home team. I think the Bengals will pull it out in the end. Hopefully, maybe. This one I probably would avoid if I could with the betting, but yeah, I'm gonna go Bengals, and I think it is at least by a field goal. I'll go with -2.5.
Yeah, so I mean, this for me is a very interesting game because they have these two teams kind of both have the same theme and scenario where it's almost like, wow, they should be really good. This is a great team. But consistently, week after week, they're underperforming in our minds that they should be. But I think it's like they're not ever going to get there. I think both of these teams are like quote unquote in their slump or their last year's slump or whatever, and for some reason I don't see either of them breaking out of it. So they're kind of both in the same like wavelength there, which is why it's very interesting for me. I man, I could really take either of these teams to be honest with you. I think there should be like more like a pick'em game, but yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna take Bengals by a field goal at home. Um, I mean, Saquon can just as easily carry the. It seems like it's Saquon or bust for the Eagles. He's carrying the whole entire team at this point. But man, there's just something that it's either one team's gonna click and one team isn't this game. And for me, I'm just gonna bet on the Bengals. So
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with both of you here. I think the Eagles are winning this game. They had a huge game against the Giants. Like you said, the Giants have a pretty good defense. The Bengals do not. They are 20th in the league in points against. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Eagles have Saquon. So there's that. Obviously, there's always a chance that Jalen Hurts turns around and actually starts being a good NFL quarterback. And he's got the weapons to do it. Cincinnati, they're kind of, like you said, they're in a weird spot where they should be fantastic, but they're not. But I think the Eagles might actually be picking up pace a little bit. A pretty big statement win against the Giants. It's a feel-good game. You got a good win under your belt, and I think they're going to roll with that into Cincinnati, and I'm going to take the Eagles spread. I don't know if you can consider this a whoopsie-daisy. I mean, it's only 2.5. It's very surprising, though, that the Eagles are underdogs this week to me, honestly. But I'm taking the Eagles spread. and I do think they win the game.
Well, alrighty. We will see. We will see. 1 o'clock game again. We got a rematch. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons. The last time these guys came up against each other, which was a couple weeks ago, it was a fantastic game. It was great. Kirk Cousins threw for like 10 million yards. It was actually like 500, but still, it was a lot. Kirk O'Change went off. Baker Mayfield went off. It was a great overall game to watch. Unfortunately, this time around, due to some injuries, it's going to be tough for me to root for my boy Baker Mayfield again. Atlanta Falcons haven't looked as tough either against the Seahawks. They kind of struggled, and yeah, I mean it's it is what it is. But with a hit to the wide receiver room in Tampa, it's going to be hard to bet for him here. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to go with the -2.5. And yeah, it's a sad day for Baker Mayfield fans.
Yeah, that was rough, having literally both your wide receivers go out in a single game. I don't think. Do we have the news on Chris Godwin? I don't think he's returning this year at all.
No, he's done.
Okay,
he's
so
probably
he's done for the year. Mike Evans, they say, probably after the bye week, which is in 3-4 more weeks. Yeah, usually I'd say division games, Tampa at home, they usually split, and this is going to be a very, very important game for the division. I believe in Daddy Mayfield. Give me the Bucks +2.5.
Oh my!
Oh my God, he did it. He actually did it. Well, on that note, no. The hit to the wide receiver room is just way too big, in my opinion. They don't have really a solidified run game. I thought Rachaad White was going to be so much better than he is. Bucky Irving's kind of picking it up, but he's not. He's not really at the level that the Bucks want him to be. In my opinion, they really don't have a running back one. And obviously, with the two wide receivers going down, that's just way too big to surmount. Falcons lost a pretty rough game last week, and I think they bounce back and come in and just absolutely gut punch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. So I'm taking the Falcons spread -2.5.
Alrighty, I really hope Baker Mayfield. I hope you come on, pull this out. I don't know how, but I hope he does. Anyways,
His name is just so unsettling to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it could be worse. I could be saying Daddy Mayfield instead of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well,
could be worse. What was this supposed to mean?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying I didn't do. I could have been whispering. Anyway, okay. Anyways, Miami Dolphins, Arizona Cardinals. Woo, yeah. Tua Tagovailoa is coming back. Wow, great. Oh, yeah, Tua. Yeah. So actually, because of that, Miami is favored -3 at home against the Cardinals, who just pulled off a win against the Chargers there. Yeah, I think if Tua's coming back, everything's good. Tyreek Hill is good. Give me Miami Dolphins -3. I think they're gonna want to show off a little bit here with Tua back. So I think they're gonna clutch out a win here against the Cardinals with Mr. Call of Duty as quarterback there. So yeah. And is Marvin Harrison still gonna be out for this game, or is he? No. Okay, great. Yeah, give me Miami Dolphins -3.
Justin?
I thought we were skipping because 2 words. COD deal.
Oh, got it.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
Right. Tua's back. He's best quarterback in the whole entire league. Yeah, I don't. And plus the 2 words, COD deal. Yeah, easy enough.
Funny enough, I actually, well, for different reasons, more than 2 words, I agree. The Dolphins spread at -3 is the way to go here. And I think Tyreek Hill is going to have a huge game. He's finally getting his quarterback back. That's weird to say. Quarterback back? I don't like it. His quarterback is returning to the football field, and he will be playing. So, yeah, Tua's back. Obviously, doesn't seem to work with any other quarterback. And I think Tyreek Hill's going to have a great game. I think Jalen Waddle's finally going to have a decent game. It just, nothing seems to work without Tua. So, with Tua coming back, like Caleb said, they're going to show out a little bit, and I think they take this game pretty easily. Also, COD deal.
Dude, guys, that sounds great that you are all on the Tua boat now. Thank you for finally somewhat admitting it.
I'm not calling Tua great. I'm just calling Skylar Thompson and Tyler Huntley not as good.
Okay.
Actually, I'm calling them not great at all.
I just got a beady boop 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 beep boop boop boop. The new COD comes out on Friday.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
This weekend. Yeah. So
that means Kyler won't be in the film room. He'll be in the game room.
Correct.
Let's change the spread to about -12, 15 maybe.
Yeah, honestly, this is a lock. If you're listening right now, go ahead and lock it in. Put like at least $1,000 on it. You'll be happy. You'll thank us later.
Alternate spread, 25 points.
Yeah. Anyways, next game, first 405 matchup here. We got the Buffalo Bills. Let's go, Bills Mafia represent against the Seattle Seahawks. It is in Seattle. The Bills are favored -3. The Bills coming off their win against the Titans. Amari Cooper with his touchdown on his first catch, I think, which was really cool to see. This is, I think, going to be a very good matchup. Seattle Seahawks came off their win. They look like a solid team again. Geno Smith, I know he did before. I know he held the passing yard record before the week, but does he still have it now? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I think so. Okay, yeah.
Brock Purdy played terrible.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure Geno Smith's still holding those passing yards. They're still slinging the ball. DK Metcalf looks great. JSN looks great. Tyler Lockett, he looks fine. And Kenneth Walker, he's great. I mean, I think their offense is great. Buffalo Bills defense scares me a lot sometimes, especially that run defense. But I think it's going to be a good game, and it is in Seattle, and so for that reason, I am going to take the Seattle Seahawks money line. Go for it, send it. I think the Seahawks win this game, and it's kind of sad to say, but I think it's going to happen because I hope I'm wrong. I usually am, so that's the only reason why I'm saying it. Go Seahawks. Just kidding. Go Bills.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna date back to what we had a couple weeks ago, the Pretenders and Contenders. Even though, I still think the Seahawks offense is looking pretty good, and Kenneth Walker might have himself a day this week against the Bills. It could come down to some kind of offensive shootout. I like what the Bills are doing, adding pieces, receivers, and Amari Cooper, strengthening their core here. And I believe it's now 9 games in a row dating back to last season where Josh Allen is yet to have a turnover. So that and protecting the ball and my Pretenders versus Contenders, I think the Bills are able to pull this out. I got a -3 going into this game.
I will say this. The Seahawks lost to the Giants. Bills -3.
That's kind of funny. They did do that. The Seahawks did do that. They did indeed do that.
It was very depressing, too, to watch. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I really hope the Bills still lose this game for obvious reasons. And the only reason why I'm picking the Seahawks is because currently this year my betting has been pretty terrible, so I'm hoping that it's still terrible. Anyways, next game. Los Angeles Chargers, New Orleans Saints. These guys both coming off their losses. The Chargers with a -7 favor at home. You guys last week said the Rizzler was all right, that he looked good, and you guys got a very rude awakening. The Rizzler was not good at all. He actually, might I say, looked really bad. But, any given Sunday, anything could happen. Maybe the Rizzlers won out against the Los Angeles Chargers. Who knows? I mean, COD deal did it, right? So anything could happen in this game. Just kidding. I think the Chargers are going to win. However, I don't know if it'll be more than a touchdown. I think it's going to be maybe a close game. So let's go with the Saints +7. But I do have the Chargers winning at home.
I am going to go against everything I said about the Riddler. It just looked very painful. That was a very big eyeball offensive voider, for sure. For some reason, the Chargers, to me, just they look kind of weak. I don't know, if you're getting the same vibes from them, but it doesn't look like they're very strong as a point scorer. Maybe I don't know what's going on with them, but it feels like they should be a lot better. When it comes down to this game, I think Saints are on a million game losing streak after they played their Super Bowl against the Cowboys. I'm gonna say that continues, especially with the Rizzler in backfield. And yeah, I'll take a -7. I'll take a touchdown there.
I just want to point out, Caleb, when you use the Rizzler as a verb, it just doesn't make me feel good inside. I actually am now reading. Earlier today, there has been a contract extension with somebody who we're going to get traded. Alvin Kamara signed for 2 years.
Knew it.
2 years for the Saints. So obviously that means he's somewhat happy with New Orleans. Maybe it's maybe it's a little hiccup. Obviously, a lot of key pieces for the Saints are out there, a very banged up, hurt team, and maybe he believes in the team. Don't know why you do that, but the Chargers, like you said, they just look weak. They don't look like they have it all together. They're kind of struggling. And I don't know, man. This one I feel like is probably going to be an eyeball avoider for sure. But I will take the Saints +7. I think I don't know, flip a coin, I guess, but I'll take Saints +7. I think Kamara might have a great game, but we'll see. We'll see. This is just kind of like a voting on vibes type of thing for me.
Alrighty, yeah, voting on vibes. Hey, that never led me astray before, so yeah, why not vote on vibes? Anyways, 425, Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, another divisional matchup. The Chiefs continue to find ways to sadden me. They will not lose a game, which is deeply depressing. Even with all their injuries, they still manage to find ways to win games. And it's sad. The Las Vegas Raiders, they're in shambles still. They can't really string along more than 10 points a game. And against Kansas City's defense, I don't see that changing, unfortunately. Kansas City is favored by -10, and this game is in Las Vegas, but I don't think it matters. I think the Kansas City Chiefs will sadly win this game again. Give me the -10 for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to take it as a little bit closer here. Divisional matchup, and definitely the Chiefs' defense has been the story of this team. Patrick Mahomes is not looking very Patrick Mahomes. They still have all those injuries to the receivers, and I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like almost going to be the same thing as the Browns-Ravens this week, where you're like, there should be absolutely no possible way on the green earth that the Raiders are even close to winning this game at all. But, same thing as the Browns. I think they keep it at least a little bit closer in the division. And I'm going to take their spread, a lot of points here for the Raiders, and I'm going to take it.
Brother, it's actually funny you say that. Because for my first whoopsie daisy,
You're kidding, right?
You're kidding.
I'm taking
Nah, he's
the
not.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Nah. Nah. You still have time,
over
man.
the Kansas City Chiefs this week.
Wait, you're actually being serious?
I'm not taking it back. I'm actually being serious. I'm taking the Raiders money line this week in Vegas against the Chiefs.
What?
I am. I have two words, and I think they started to finally figure it out.
What?
Brock Bowers. 2 touchdowns tomorrow or Sunday. Pardon me. Brock Bowers is going to lead the Raiders to a win against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well,
You're-
we know who not to listen to.
You're actually not kidding.
Yeah, that's
That would be if you call this right now. Remember what did I do the whoopsie daisy last year on? I think it was Packers versus the Chiefs, where everyone was like the same exact thing. We're like, dude, there's absolutely no way, and then they ended up winning. If this pulls out, that would be the craziest whoopsie daisy call in the history of the NFL.
Hey, listen, I'm all for it. If it happens, I'm gonna be happy. I don't care about bets. But yeah,
That would
I
be
don't
nuts.
I don't see that happening. But any given Sunday, that's the theme this week, baby. Any given Sunday.
Brother, if you call that,
Yeah, that'd be pretty legendary.
crazy.
If I call this, somebody has to buy me tickets to the World. Oh, I don't know. It starts on Friday, so it's
Oh
probably...
my. Yeah. Okay.
If
I'm gonna
anybody's
need a.
listening- If anybody's listening and you pull this bet, if you bet Raiders money line and you hit, I need a percentage. You gotta fork something over because this is just nuts. But yeah, I'm doing it. I'm sending it. Raiders over Chiefs.
Wow, that would be
All
crazy.
right. Yeah, I mean, I hope. I sincerely hope. Anyways, next game, 4:25, Denver Broncos, Carolina Panthers. It is in Denver. Denver Broncos coming off their big win against the Rizzler and the Saints. Yeah, it was a pretty one-sided affair there. Denver Broncos with their defense looked pretty good. Even their offense clicks sometimes. I guess sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Carolina Panthers are the Carolina Panthers. So yeah, I think Denver Broncos with the -9 here. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll go with the Denver spread.
I'm gonna agree, and man, really, all I gotta say is the poor Panthers, man.
Yeah.
You gotta feel so. It's 2 years in a row where they have a combined 3 wins. That's not good. That's really.
You do
not
got to feel for him.
You guys must not have heard, because it just gets worse.
What?
Andy Dalton got in a car accident today. It's not.
Wait,
funny.
what?
Are you serious?
It's not. It's not funny. Nobody got taken to the hospital, but he did get in a car accident. And his whole family was in the car. Even his dog was in the car, and he got in a car accident today. So you guys are sitting here saying poor Panthers, and their quarterback that they had replaced. Their star boy got in a car accident. Now, thankfully, nobody was hurt. No car accident is funny, but it just feeds into what you guys are saying. The poor fucking Panthers, dude. Like, they can't catch a break on or off the field. It's wild.
Yeah, it's. Wow, I didn't even know about that, but.
Wow,
Maybe
yeah.
I take the +9 because of that. He's gonna come back with some.
Okay, don't get crazy.
Okay, yeah, I'm taking Broncos -9.
I will also. Not as kind of big. That's what she said. I probably will take the -9 though for the Broncos. Their defense is just way too good at this point. Obviously, Bo Nix isn't playing MVP caliber football by any means, but if he kind of manages the game a lot better, I think the Broncos could be even better than they're playing right now. They're playing pretty good. So I'm going to take the Broncos -9 spread for this game.
They're kind of looking like one of those frisky teams that might all of a sudden pop up in the playoffs. Like, what the heck happened?
They are a second half team. I mean, Bo Nix every time in the first half has like 2 completions for like 4 yards, but when it comes to halftime, that guy comes out and he comes slinging the ball again. Like I was watching the first half of that game, and And he was missing some really easy throws, like some wide open throws, like way over the head or way short. And it was like, oh my God, what is happening here? But then he come out in the second half and he's throwing absolute dime pieces. I don't understand him at all. But
They put in
yeah,
his decoy.
it's
They put in
yes,
his
exactly.
his
Yeah,
robot clone.
yeah. It's something. It has to be something. I don't know. He pops his in at halftime. Who knows? I saw Baker Mayfield do that too. That was pretty funny.
Michael's secret stuff from Looney Tunes, the water bottle with Michael's secret stuff in there.
Yes, yes. Anyways, our next matchup here is a good one. It is. It's the battle of the rookie quarterbacks here. Hopefully, I hope Jaden Daniels is good to go for this match. They're still evaluating him for his ribs, so I'm not entirely sure if he'll be in here for this one. But still, I think it's going to be a good game. Chicago Bears coming off their bye. Yes, they're coming off their bye. And right now, their defense looks fantastic. Their offense is heating up. It's getting better and better each week. Caleb Williams is looking like the #1 draft pick. But then again, other side of the field, Washington Commanders are absolutely they're offensive weapon. I mean, they're 5-2. They are looking phenomenal as well. The defense picked up a little bit in their last game, and yeah, I mean, even Marcus Mariota was able to command that offense into a commanding victory there. So yeah, this is going to be a great matchup, and right now, it's a toss up for me. I mean, the Bears are favored -2, and I think I might have to agree with it. If Jaden Daniels is not playing in this game, I think the Bears will win this fairly easily. But it's really the Bears defense that is swaying me towards their side. So yeah, I think if Jaden Daniels is playing, I think it'll be closer. But I'm honestly still going to give it to the Bears. I think they're a good football team. I think they're going to pull this one out.
I'm actually surprised. I thought both of you guys were going to take the Commanders here. And these are two teams that, honestly, I really like both these teams. They're pretty good. And I think, Caleb, you hit the nail there. What do they call it? Nail on the head there. I think the Bears' defense is what's going to win them the game. Jaden Daniels or not, I think they're playing really well this year. And coming off a bye as well, they had extra time to prepare. They got their players relaxed. They're all geared, ready to go for this week. I do like the Commanders a lot, though. Their offense does seem to be popping off. They score a lot of points. This could be one of those game of the weeks that we talk about. This could be a really good one. And I'm going to stick just because of defense purpose here with the Bears -2 as well. But yeah, this is going to be a fun one to watch.
Absolutely.
I'm actually very excited for this game. I'm not gonna lie. Like Caleb said, it's the rookie quarterbacks. It's the battle. I'm personally, like I said, very excited for this game. I am kind of hesitant on taking the Bears, but I'm also, this is a weird one for me because the Bears are 0-2 away, and they lost to the Texans and the Colts. Losing to the Colts is not a great look, but it's kind of like those, like you guys said, any given Sunday type thing. Their defense, though, they're well rested. Everybody is looking forward probably to playing this team that nobody thought was going to be this good. I honestly didn't think either team was going to be this good, but they're playing real good football as of late. As far as I know, Jaden Daniels he could have come back in the game, but they already had a big enough lead to where they're like, let's just not. There's no point in doing it, and I think he'll be fine. He's good to go. Man, this one's tough, but I'll probably end up taking the Bears spread. And I think the key point, like you guys both said, is their defense. I don't think the Commanders' defense is playing all that great. They're scoring a lot of points. They're a very well-rounded offensive team. They're both playing great, but I will take the Bears spread mainly because of their defense.
Yeah, I mean, this is #1 draft pick against Heisman winner. It's gonna be a fun one to watch. You're gonna want to watch it for sure. Anyways, next we got our primetime games, Sunday Night Football. Let's go. We got we got the Dallas Cowboys.
Why?
We got the Dallas Cowboys.
Why?
and the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, I mean, this is
I'm just a punching bag of the podcast.
I'm sorry. I don't mean it. I just kind of, I just gotta let out a little chuckle. But anyways, Dallas Cowboys coming off their bye week, so maybe something happens here. Against 49ers, who, I mean, Brock Purdy had probably one of his worst games so far last week against Kansas City. So yeah, it's a Sunday night football game with Dallas Cowboys and 49ers. It's gonna be a good one. And yeah, right now 49ers, it is in San Francisco. Right now the 49ers are favored, -4. Brandon Ayuk did get injured in that game, and Brock Purdy did not look good at all. And yeah, I mean, it's right now 49ers are still very beat up. Dallas Cowboys, who knows what they look like after the bye. And everything right now, with all the history between these two teams, is pointing me towards San Francisco at home. And for that reason, I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys with the whoopsie daisy. Give me the Dallas Cowboys. They're pulling this game out finally. Money line.
I was just waiting for the. Just kidding. Like.
No, absolutely not. No, I think the Cowboys win this game.
I'm still. There's no extra after that. That's it. You're gonna end it right there. Like it's my turn to talk now. There's nothing you're gonna say after that.
No, I'm just kidding. The 49ers absolutely stopped the Dallas. No, I'm just kidding. No, really. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to pull this game out. I think they're going to come out strong on the bye week, especially with the 49ers all crumbled on offense. I think this is the time for the Dallas Cowboys to kind of pull out a win here.
So here we go. Here's what I have to say.
Oh.
Primetime football in San Francisco. I think we're like 0-12 in San Francisco, by the way. That's probably very accurate. And we're getting all our defense back. Pretty much our core's coming back. Lawrence and Parsons and all our linebackers have been injured the first half of the year. So they're all coming back. Ayuk just went out probably for the season, I believe. Debo, I don't know what the heck happened with him. He had like the flu or something, some kind of sickness they were saying. I think he went to the hospital too, like during the game. So I don't know what kind of sickness he came down with. I don't even know if he's going to be playing. More than likely, I would say yes. CMC still out. Mason still out. Seems like we're getting our core back here, and the 49ers don't have anyone at this point. And yeah, Brock Purdy coming off of his worst game of the week or the season, which makes me believe everything is pointing towards a 49ers blowout. They're going to win by 28 points. The Cowboys suck. We have nothing left even after our bye week. We have no hope left for the season, no motivation for anyone. Dak Prescott is only getting one ring this year, and that was to his engagement to his soon-to-be wife, and he doesn't care about anything on the field. $60 million. I'm glad we gave it to him for the next 4 years, and we lose this game by 30. Next.
Oh my.
Dude, I'm depressed for you. Oh my god.
I feel sad now. Everything just feels sad.
All right. So this is wild. The 49ers just look terrible. I don't know if it's because of the pressure against the Chiefs. It's a Super Bowl matchup, and they came out, too big for their britches, and they ended up getting stomped on. Brock Purdy played terrible. We know that. Something is telling me, though. Dallas Cowboys money line for my second whoopsie daisy of the day. And no, brother, I am not kidding. We can continue on with the podcast without any further pausing. Debo ended up getting pneumonia, though. He did go to the hospital, but he just got released. Pneumonia is one of the tough ones. It lingers for a while. It could have been a lot worse. A buddy of mine actually just had multifocal pneumonia, so it was in both lungs, and it was pretty bad. And he was kind of down and out for a couple weeks. So even if Debo does come back, he might get limited touches, even though Ayuk is now in the Shadow Realm. Niners are just not the Niners that we know, and I think coming off a bye week with a lot of, looking inward toward themselves, Dallas is going to come out and win this game.
I'm still waiting for the.
No, it's
okay.
not
All right.
Well,
Well,
It's yeah. What's
it's crazy to see the different perspectives. Being a fan versus an outsider. I have no
very sad fan.
No hope left. Like we got nothing. Their team does not look. We're very like under average. I would say like we're just bordering the line of average as a team. And what is the actual thing? Like I actually think we haven't won in San Francisco in like a decade.
Yeah, it's been a while. It certainly has been a while.
Records are meant to be broken.
Exactly right. I think right now, if the Cowboys are going to beat the 49ers, I think it's like now with all the injuries and everything that's happening. So that's kind of my reasoning for picking the Cowboys here. But yeah. Anyways, moving on here. We got Monday night game. Last game of the week. No double Monday night game this week. Also, thankfully, I kind of enjoy my one game on Monday, so I don't have to balance between two games. But anyways, Pittsburgh Steelers, New York Giants. It is in Pittsburgh. Steelers are favored -6.5 against the Giants. And yeah, the Giants are looking more giant-y than they did in the past couple of weeks. Everyone thought maybe they're actually somewhat decent. Okay, maybe not completely horrible. But no, they're pretty horrible. And the Steelers, everyone was questioning what is going to look like with Russell Wilson compared to Justin Fields. Why would they take Justin Fields out? What yada yada yada. And yeah, they Russell Wilson, he cooked. He did. I think it was a pretty good performance from him. And I mean, overall, they looked fantastic. Their defense is clicked. Their defense is still great. That'll never change, especially as long as Watt is still healthy. And yeah, I think right now it's with the spread. I think this one's a gimme. I'm gonna take the Pittsburgh Steelers spread -6.5.
I'm gonna agree, and I think you put it perfectly. The Giants are gianting right now, and I had the money or the not the money, yeah, the money line, the whoopsie daisy going in last week. I thought they were building on something, and the Eagles just went in there and revenge game for Saquon, ran for 1 million yards.
Yep.
And they're just, yeah, I think I got the whole entire NFC East sweep this week. Every team in the East is losing, including my Dallas Cowboys. There's no shot for them. Now, also, I think there's no shot for the Giants as well, especially with Russ cooking. What happened? The beginning of the game, man, I thought it was going to be like, this is the worst decision ever. He picked it up. It seemed like he was getting better and better throughout the game, and I mean, can't really complain about how he did. Those 50-50 balls to Pickens were absolutely incredible that game. That was something to watch. Those were amazing catches, amazing throws. I'm liking it. Their offense is scoring. They're against the stinky Giants at home Monday night with Renegade. There's no chance. Steelers -6.5.
I don't know. I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about Russ. Obviously, the second half was absolutely nutty. Had a great second half. Absolute blowout by the Steelers against the Jets. I think I'm going to chalk this one up to Russ finally being able to play football after being injured and walking into a very good situation with a 4-2 team. I don't think it carries on to next week, to be honest with you. And the thing with the Giants is we saw what they can do kind of early in the year if they have other pieces. Like Malik Neighbors is back, and he's probably going to be in full swing. Wan'Dale Robinson, as long as Danny Dimes can, get him the ball accurately and effectively, can also be a factor. I'm going to take the Giants spread here at 6.5, but I do not think they win the game. I think it'll be close. it might be another field goal game for the Steelers, barring maybe a touchdown. But I will take the Giants spread at 6.5.
Alrighty, so there's your pick'ems for the week. Do what you will with what we said. Don't pick the Raiders. I can tell you that. But anyways,
But
we're
if
going
you
on
do,
to fantasy. But if you do,
Win some money.
if you do,
yeah. But if you do, I mean, any given Sunday. But anyways, we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk a little bit about fantasy. Everyone likes fantasy. And today, all I want to talk about is some buy low, and sell high candidates. It's been crazy few weeks. A lot of people switching. A lot of great waiver wire pickups that happened. Everyone's kind of starting to figure out what's happening, who's getting most carries, and all this, yada yada yada. But there's still some candidates here that a lot of people are either sleeping on or they're riding way too high on. And you know what? I'll pass this on to Justin first. Let's see what he has to say. Fantasy implications. What do you got?
I had all the fantasy guys that you want to try to grab on your team, and whether I think these could all be even a buy high option. I think these guys going in for the rest of the year, even what's going around the league, is going to improve your team no matter how you look at it. And first one on the list here I had was James Cook. With a run-heavy, seemingly, offense, it seems like he's getting more and more touches throughout the games. James Cook, touchdown implications. It almost seems like he's getting one a game. I think like this is one of the guys that you trade for, even maybe like and let's not get way too crazy here, but CMC being on your IR for another few weeks, and maybe that's something to look at for like just a head-on trade there, like a buy high with a CMC coming back for James Cook. I feel like he's going to add a lot of value to the team, especially those mid record teams, your 3-4s, your 4-3s, adding something for the next couple weeks. It's going to have that high impact for if you have CMC sitting on your IR for the whole first half of the season. I think this is a pickup for sure, and I think he's going to continue scoring a lot of points for fantasy heading on to the rest of the season. My next one is kind of an injury coming back, buy high, trade rumors. We already talked about it a little bit. Cooper Kupp. We can't forget what he's done in the wide receiver role, and I don't know what's going on with the Rams about like trading out and doing all these different changes, and looks like their season's not going the way they planned, and maybe they're giving up on the season already, but all these trade talks could be very valuable to another one of those teams, say like the Bills that are going to add a receiver, the Cowboys, which we know is never going to happen because nothing's going to happen as long as Jerry is there. All these teams that are looking like that, even the Chiefs, they're in the market for a wide receiver. If they pick up Cooper Kupp here, it is like game over for fantasy. That's like 1 million points a game, and that connection right there is going to be insane. I say that's like one of the not even a risky pickup, because on the Rams he's still going to be a huge production. So that's one of my other get him while you can, coming off before he has that pop-off game from coming off of injury. Try to trade for him. And my last one I had on the list here was also another trade that just recently happened. I'm sure you all know where this is going. The New York Jets, Devontae Adams, went from a 2-5 team to a 2-5 team to lose twice to the Steelers. And
That is hilarious.
it is pretty funny. When I was reading those, I was like, wow, he's going to get traded again to the Giants, so he can lose 3-3 Steelers in a row. But I think exactly what brothers were saying. They're going to find a way to keep involving him in the offense. They're already very familiar with each other, even though you got Garrett Wilson on the other side of the ball too. Is I guess now the wide receiver 2, I guess you call him. I'm not even sure how they're going to share that, but I feel like Devontae Adams is going to pick up a lot. Trade for him while you can. That's another going to be in my prediction fantasy world here. Going to be one of those high productions continuing out for the rest of the year, especially in their dire situation now where they need to win games. They're going to get him the ball. And even though he is getting up there in age, he's still a top tier receiver. He's going to catch balls. He's going to catch touchdowns. He's going to be a big piece of that offense, and they're going to give him the ball a lot more. That first game, I think they targeted him 9 times, and that's off a half a week of being on the team. So that's only. Did he score a touchdown that game too?
Who, Devontae?
Yeah. I don't know if he did or not, but.
What are you talking about last week?
Yeah, his first week on the Jets.
I don't believe so.
No, he did not.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, they're going to find a way to get him in the end zone, and that's going to be future points. So get him while you can, especially it's almost the same as Cooper Kupp before he has that comeback pop-off game where no one's going to trade him and they're going to hold on to him team forever, and no matter what you trade him, get him while you can.
Alrighty, other brother, what do you
Oh,
got?
that's me.
That's you.
So, I'm gonna kind of linger on the same type of action that Justin was on. I'm gonna go with a couple that you kind of want to pick up here. The first one that I'm gonna mention here is Javonte Williams on the Broncos. Being that Bo Nix has not really found his stride with, I guess, being a complete game player, like Caleb said, he kind of shows up in the second half. Javonte Williams had a great game against New Orleans. He's got pretty high production, and he also catches the ball a lot. He's probably not a very high price. You can probably pick him up for a couple bench spots and get really good production out of him. I guess the only downside that I can see in the coming future is back-to-back games against Baltimore and Kansas City. Other than that, the dude can produce. If you watch the Broncos play, you can see how much of a monster he is. You can see how much he loves running the ball. So he's probably an easy pickup for a decent amount of production, a lot of receptions. So look for him. Quick little trades. And I'm going to go with another running back. At this time on the opposite side of the country. We're going to go a little bit south into Jacksonville. Tank Bigsby. I think Jacksonville is kind of sort of figuring out that ETN is not their only running back option. This dude, in his absence last week, absolutely blew the doors off of New England. He rushed for, it's his second game actually this year, running over 100 yards. In the other game he rushed for over 100 yards, he also got 2 touchdowns. Now, the only downside, I will give you downsides to both of these people because I feel like it's only fair for me to give you. He only has 1 reception on the year. That reception was for 28 yards. So that's 3.8 points in one play. It was the same game. He ended up with 101 rushing yards, and that game was just incredible against Indianapolis. Like I said, Jacksonville is now finding out that they don't have to just give the ball to ETN literally every single time they snap the football, and I think they're going to, when ETN gets back, put a pretty decent share between Bigsby and ETN. Now I'm going to kind of go on the opposite side of the spectrum and go with somebody that you should probably try to sell high currently. Caleb.
Don't do it.
I have to. You understand I have to.
Don't do it.
I gotta. Baker Mayfield.
Don't do it.
I had to, dude. Baker
No,
Mayfield.
I'm stashing him if it's me. He's on my team forever.
I know you are, but he, like I mentioned earlier, the damage to the wide receiver room is just so huge. It's massive. I mean, obviously Mike Evans is only out for a couple weeks, what they said after the bye. that's 3 games in a row after the bye. They got an easier schedule after their bye, but I mean, with Godwin out for a good, it's going to be really, really difficult for him to find a primary target to stick with in Love. I honestly don't see an upside to anything here. I don't get me wrong; he's playing great this year. He is, I think, second or third. I believe he's third now in yards. I can get a beat here in a minute, but yeah, the damage to the wide receiver room is just too great for me. If you have him on your team, people are probably still gonna buy him pretty high. You're gonna get good value from him. I would pick up a secondary quarterback. I know that Russell Wilson is probably still on the waiver wire in a lot of leagues that aren't very experienced. So maybe look to get Russell Wilson. Maybe he pops off. But sell him high, get some good pieces. Fill in those pieces that you kind of missed out on the draft. You still have some weak spots. Get rid of Baker and pick up some good point-making pieces. Caleb, I'm so sorry. Don't hate me.
No, it's completely fine. I'm stashing him even if he gets a season-ending injury. I'm putting him on my IR, and he's gonna rest there for the remainder of the season.
That's a hint to trade him to Caleb.
Hey, you trade me Baker Mayfield. I'll give you whoever you want.
Don't let him lie to you. Caleb literally already has Baker Mayfield in every single.
I have. Yes, I do. Anyways,
first round pick.
No, actually, brother, you talked about someone here that I want to get into. I actually have a different, an opposite approach. You talked a little bit about Tank Bigsby. How he's going to get a lot more production. He rushed for 100 yards in 2 games, and he did. He's looking absolutely fantastic. He looks like he should be the number 1 guy, even if Etienne is super healthy and everything. I mean, he looks fantastic. He looks ready to go. He looks like he can be a 3-down bell cow. But for me, I'm selling him high. I think Etienne is healthy. I think it's gonna go right back to a split field. I think. I mean, you look against who he ran these 100 yards against, and they're 2 not great teams. Obviously, take that as you will. The Jacksonville might not play against all these fantastic teams, so maybe you can play him here and there. But for me, the main thing here is just the offense. I don't think their offense can produce these kind of results every single week. I think when Etienne is healthy, I think they're going to split it a lot more. It's going to be kind of one of these things where he's not getting touchdowns every game, and I think it'll be almost reliant on touchdowns, which I think are still going to be kind of hard to come by in Jacksonville. And right now, he does look like the running back 1 in this backfield, and that makes me think he is a sell high candidate. People might be looking for him, see those 2 games and be like, wow, this guy is absolutely incredible. Let me go get him. But I think right now you could sell him pretty high for some other low end running back 1s, maybe high running back 2s. Like I don't know if you'd stretch it this much, but maybe like James Conner, J.K. Dobbins, who haven't had great games. People might be trying to look to sell those guys because they've been struggling just a little bit here. But I don't know if those are stretches. But I think Tank Bigsby is a sell high candidate. And for my next guy, a buy low kind of guy here. Last week, Devonta Smith had 1 catch for -2 yards. The pass game was non-existent. Devonta Smith was just not there. It was a pretty sad day for Devonta Smith owners like me. It was sad. I needed him to produce at least a few points, and he got me 0.8, so it was not great. A lot of people might be trying to look to get rid of him here just because the Eagles kind of in this slump, but I say this is the perfect time to go out and buy him. He's still a fantastic receiver. He's still going to get you a lot of points in games where they need to throw the ball a lot more. But in this game, unfortunately, it was against the Giants, and they had Saquon Barkley. So that's that. He is my buy low candidate. If you can get him, go ahead and get it. I wouldn't give too much because the Eagles' slump is still definitely there. But if you can get them, get them. And yeah, I think that's it. Unless someone wants to add a little bit more about anything fantasy.
Yeah, I would say definitely drop Ayuk.
Oh yeah, do that. Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good
I would do
point.
that. Yeah, his leg didn't look great either.
No, it
No,
didn't.
it didn't. So yeah, I think that's probably a safe bet there. But anyways, we're going on to a little bit of a new thing here. We're gonna do some power rankings. We're gonna give you our top 5 teams. Each of us are gonna be the top 5. And let's see, we'll start off with Justin. What do you got for top 5 NFL teams this
Top
year?
5 teams halfway through the season. We're going to see how it matches up here. Here's what I got on my list. Ready? It's going to be, I'm going to start backwards, 5 up to 1.
Okay.
Coming in
Yeah,
number
let's count.
5. No, absolutely not. Number 5, ranking, put them on the board. Here they are, the Green Bay Packers. I got them top 5 in the league, especially their win out after the Texans. They're looking, since Love has been back, amazing offense. Defense holding up better than we expected from last year. They're definitely a team to be very afraid of right now. And actually, that whole division is going to be insane. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, literally all of them made it to the playoffs. That division is stacked. But coming in at number 4 for me, they took their first L, the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, they are still very, very strong team, but I believe the 3 teams above them just have a little bit of an edge right now. But yeah, still one of those teams, and this is another back-to-back in the same division as Packers. They're just looking really good right now, and going up from there, top 3. Believe it or not, I got the Kansas City Chiefs at number 3 in the league.
Ooh.
Oh, good
Undefeated, I know that. Power rankings aren't record rankings. They don't look super amazing, but they always find ways to win the games no matter what it is. They're obviously haven't lost yet this year, but I have them at number 3, and these 2 teams ahead of them just seem to be on the next tier level, which number 2 for me is the Baltimore Ravens. Derrick Henry's going off. Lamar might go for a 3-peat. They look unstoppable. Just beat the Bucks by, 40 points before they got the pity points at the end of the game. They look like a team that is on a mission, and ever since their very slow start, are not looking back, and they look like a clear, we better not go against this team any given week. So that's why I have them at number 2. And my number 1 in the whole entire NFL, topping every single team this year, halfway through the season. Just took the 0 from the L column from the Vikings. It's the Detroit Lions. Offensive line, insane. Running back depth, insane. Offense is crazy. Jared Goff is having an MVP year. Is he leading the league in yards, actually? He might be. Receivers are insane. Their whole team overall, well coached, well put together. They don't take any bye weeks, like I was saying earlier, against the Titans this week. They're not going to lay easy on them. They will put you to the test. They're going to win the games. They just took an undefeated team out with a great game. They have the way to win. They have the team to win. And I think they're the strongest at this point in the season. So I have them as my number 1. Let's see how you guys match up to that.
All right, brother, you want to go?
Oh, it's me. All right.
Yeah, it's you.
All right. I don't know if this is going to be glaringly obvious. I'm also going to do the same thing, go up from 5 to number 1. At my number 5 spot, I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh.
5-2 record is very good. They got there without really any standout players on offense. I will say James Cook really carried the team for a good amount. He has been playing excellent this year. And with the addition of Amari Cooper, now he's getting more time to understand the playbook and get chemistry with the players on the field with him. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when he scored his touchdown, he barely celebrated. He didn't do things that you would expect a wide receiver in the NFL to do. He just kind of like, dap people up and ran off the field. So he's still getting that chemistry, and I think it's just going to get better and better. And they also have, I don't know if you knew that, they have Josh Allen. So there's that, right? At number 4, they just lost their first game of the year. That's right, the Minnesota Vikings at number 4. They are still playing great. Obviously, the loss is a very close loss to a very, very good team. So you really can't take that much away from them on that front. I think, they're playing great. Aaron Jones is playing great. Sam Darnold, who would have thunk, he's playing fantastic as well. Very good team, very powerful team. Moving on to number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs. And I really love what brother said. Power rankings are not record rankings. And I agree on all fronts with what Justin said. They're not looking fantastic. They're not playing standout. Like, you got to watch these guys play every single week because they're just blowing people out of the water. Patrick Mahomes has fewer touchdowns than the entire Carolina Panthers team. So that's crazy. And he's also tied for the league lead in interceptions. That's crazy. But somehow they're still 6-0. I will slot them in at 3. Going up to my number 2 team, the team that just gave the first L to the Minnesota Vikings, the Detroit Lions. I will put them at 2. Like brother said, they're a nose to the grindstone team. They don't take any breaks. They don't take bye weeks. They play hard all game, every game. And their backfield is just absolutely incredible. We saw Montgomery go down for a little bit, and then Jahmyr Gibbs was like, hold my beer, I got this, and just went absolutely banana bonkers. I'm going to slot them in at number 2 because they're one of the best teams in the league. There's no debating that. And at number 1, you got to give it to the Baltimore Ravens at this point. If you don't stop Henry, you don't stop the Baltimore Ravens, and you don't win the game. They're insane. I mean, Derrick Henry has 100 yards more than the person in second in rushing. Pardon me, 200 yards more. That's crazy. 200 more yards than the person in second place in the entire league in rushing. Dude's unstoppable. Lamar Jackson's also having a great year. Everything is coming together for them. And it also helps that now Mark Andrews is getting touchdowns. He's finally playing football like we know he can. I thought for a little bit that they were going to use him more as a blocking tight end and put Isaiah Likely in there as their red zone receiving tight end, touchdown tight end. But Mark Andrews is playing Mark Andrews football, and now they have literally a robot running the ball if it's not Lamar Jackson. Like, it's so hard to stop, and they are easily, in my opinion, the best team in the league right now.
Before Caleb goes too, that's a good thing to mention. Derrick Henry right now is ranked first in literally every single running back category. Like touchdowns, yards per carry, longest carry, literally everything. He's ranked. It's almost like you got to look at maybe question for MVP at this point. But yeah,
Derrick Henry
he's going crazy.
Is scary on a good team.
By the way, he lives in Dallas scary. And he wanted to play for the Dallas Cowboys. Go Jerry! Woo!
Dude, he's literally 30 and he's playing better.
Yeah, he's incredible.
That's good news for me.
Anyways, for my number 5, It's gonna look a little similar to someone else. I got the Green Bay Packers at 5-2.
Ow.
They look very good. I do have the Texans at my 6, but because of that last game, I had to edge the Packers out a little bit. I think they are a very well-rounded team, offense, defense. Like I said earlier, the defense looks a lot better this year. Their offense still have the same high-powered weapons, and they're only going to get better as I think as the season goes on. So yeah, I got the Green Bay Packers on my number 5 spot here. Going on to number 4, Minnesota Vikings. They just took their first loss, and it's nothing against them, but I think there's just some better teams out there than them. But still, they are an incredible team. 5-1, nothing to be ashamed of. These guys are gonna easily go to the playoffs. It's just a matter of will they win the division, which will not be a very easy task for them. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Number 3, also in the division, Detroit Lions. I got the honestly, my 1 through 3 are very interchangeable for me. These are all very good teams. But yeah, the Detroit Lions in my number 3 spot. Offensively, they got pieces everywhere. Defensively, that Brian Branch is, oh my gosh, he is carrying that team. He looks incredible, Brian Branch. I love to watch him. He's been insane the past couple weeks, and I think he's going to have a fantastic season. My number 2, I got the Baltimore Ravens, 5-2. They started off the year 0-2, but they have not looked back since. They started to use Derrick Henry, and it was all uphill from there. They look like the team to beat, and it's not going to be easy for any team to beat them. They are on a roll, offensively, defensively, it doesn't matter. They look incredible. And for my number 1, the Buffalo. No, I can't.
I almost expected that.
No, I gotta put Kansas City. As much as it pains me, they're the only undefeated team in football right now, and if they just find a way to win games, ironically, although they don't look like the best team, I think that almost makes them the best team because everyone's down. You know, it's like every week, oh, they don't have any receivers. Well, who are they going to use? The Pacheco's on IR, but then they find a way to win games anyways. They got pieces everywhere. I mean, like you guys said, Mahomes, he has not had a great year, and they haven't had to rely on him at all, but they still pull out these games. So I think if Patrick Mahomes kind of gets it together like we know he probably could, I think they're gonna do just fine. And looking at their schedule for the rest of the season, it is not that hard. I mean, their hardest games. I mean, they got Bucks in a couple of weeks. They got the Bills in like about 4 weeks. But other than that, their hardest. They got the Texans and the Steelers. But other than that, it's all pretty. It's all divisional games, and it's all kind of easy matchups. So honestly, I don't think the record is going to change much. I think maybe they get a loss against the Bills. Obviously, the Bills are going to sweep them in that game. But other than that, it's going to be hard to come by losses for them. So they're my number 1 spot. And now, our favorite time of the week. Is it okay? Is it not okay? And for this week, we're going to a very specific example here. Is it okay for to challenge one call, get it wrong, but still get their challenge back because something was still slightly off in the play? And my example here, I know it was a little confusing. It was a little bit too much for your ears to kind of put together, but in the Buffalo Bills game, of course, I have to reference them because they're the best. Against the Tennessee Titans, the Titans challenged a call where Dalton Kincaid caught the ball, and they challenged that he did not catch the ball. However, it was ruled that he did catch it. However, the spot was wrong because he fumbled, and it was a little bit off on the spot, so they got their challenge flag back, which in tight games could be very huge. So the question is it okay? Is it not okay for them to get that flag back after, even though they challenged for one thing and it was wrong, they still got it back because something else was wrong? What do you think, Justin? We'll go to you.
Yeah, this was one of those crazy ones. It's like those spots on the rule book that you never think of until it happens on the field, and you're like, "Oh God, what do we do in this situation?" Because it's one of those weird ones. But for me, in these scenarios, I feel like the challenge flag has to be to a specific play. So just as like those tight games where like we're gonna challenge the catch, not the spot. So like in this case, they get their timeout back, they get their challenge back, they get everything because they were off by a few yards or whatever. But the original challenge was for the catch itself on the field. I feel like you have to be specific to which you're challenging. Because in this case, like, oh, okay, yeah, they caught the ball. Oh, we still hold on to our timeout kind of thing, too, because we technically won the challenge, quote unquote. But for me, I'm going to say it's not okay because I think that it should be challenge specific. I'm challenging this ruling on the field, and if you get that ruling wrong, you lose your challenge. Not off of like the side thing that the spot was wrong. So for the it's okay, it's not okay. I'm gonna say it's not okay. You have to be specific.
Um, I really don't know how to word that differently. I mean, it's got to be specific, like you said. You're challenging a specific play, a specific result. Even if something is found, that result shouldn't be given because you didn't challenge that. It's kind of like you go to the store to buy a bag of chips, and behind the bag of chips, you find the last, tangerine in the state of Wisconsin left, and you pick it up, and you're like, oh, wow, look what I found. And then you get a tasty little treat that you can wrap your fingers around and enjoy. It should not be like that. You challenge the catch or challenge the spot. Whatever you challenge should be what's looked at. So for this example and for this week, I'm going to say it is not okay to get that challenge flag back.
All right. Well, let me be a little different. How about that?
I'm not surprised.
I love to be different. So I'm going to argue that you are challenging the play. You're not challenging the call per se. You're challenging the play. The play on the field has been challenged, and so they take a look at the whole entire play. Not just what I guess is weird as it may be. Obviously you're challenging because you believe that it wasn't a catch, but you're in reality you're throwing that red flag because you're challenging the play. And while I was sitting there when I was watching the game, I agreed with you guys. I mean, it's like you call for, yeah, he didn't catch that ball. Oh, but he lost the ball and it got fumbled a little bit far forward. So actually, we're gonna move the ball 1 centimeter and give you your challenge flag back because we moved the ball a centimeter. So I guess technically we weren't. But it's a weird situation. Ones that don't happen often. So for me, I'm looking at it as they are challenging their play. They're not challenging something specifically, even though they might ask for it to be specific. I think it's just the play in general. So I guess it's fine that if you're gonna throw your challenge flag, at least something with the officiating had to be wrong. So yeah, I think for me, I'm gonna go with it is okay.
Well,
Just to
there,
be different.
there you have it, folks. You've heard both sides. Go on over on X or Twitter or whatever they call it these days. At the Fastcast is where you'll find us. Go ahead and vote. Is it okay or is it not okay? If I could speak to call that back.
And
um,
also, and also, make sure you wish Justin a happy birthday! Woo! Happy birthday, Justin! Whoa, yeah! Happy birthday, buddy! At the time of this at the time you were watching this on Thursday, his birthday was yesterday, on Wednesday. But we're recording this now, so happy birthday to Justin.
It just hit midnight, and now he is old.
you guys had to include that, didn't you?
Yes,
I
we're
did.
not gonna let you walk away without it.
All right. Well, we're gonna end it there. And yeah, thank you guys. But we're gonna be joining next week on Thursday, 8 a.m. You know the time. Every single week, you'll see us next week. And thanks for tuning in. And we'll catch you for week 9 next week of the NFL.
Raiders money line, Raiders money line, Raiders money line, right now.
You're crazy. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys.
Bye, everybody. Go Bills.